Nailed it. Hello. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Honest Wargamer. I'm here. I'm ready. Oh, there's my coffee. No drums. Does Nathan lower this chair? No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. Hope you're all doing well. Day 2 of the birthday week, which I'm very excited about. I'm sorry I'm late. If anyone was like, oh, I was really hoping you'd be here on time today. I don't know if you watched last night's show, but last night's show, a gentleman broke a key in the front door of the venue. So we've ended up, unfortunately, having to refix it, and basically we couldn't get in this morning. That's basically the day. But enough about my day. I hope you're all well. I don't even know if anyone's here yet. Just talking to myself probably, or like you guys who like watch videos back. I like you. How you doing? Like, because you never get to talk, I guess, which is a bit sad. But, you know, and the podcast guys, right? You know, DJ Batman. Thank you very much. Happy birthday to you, DJ Batman. Happy birthday to us. It's a group effort. That's what it is. So it's all of us together, right? I talk too much about what in the daytime. You don't talk too much. You talk not enough, in my opinion. Mr. Kapowski, as well as I can be at the office. You guys at the office? Tell me about how you guys are doing before we even start the show. I'd like to hear how yours. Thanks very much. This was a hat donated to me by a member of the audience, because they said I don't wear enough flannel. So today I was also wearing a flannel overcoat of another colour. So I was triple different coloured flannel. I think that's probably the future when it comes to style. I definitely felt stylish. This hat's a bit hot. I might have to waylay it for a minute. Wait, is it your birthday today, DJ Batman? Oh, 2 days. 2 days. Thanks, man. Thanks to Bolt. Nice shirt. Oh, thanks, buddies. Yeah, chuffed. Mandaleels, I'm halfway through the last show and I saw you live. I need to know what happened with the lock. That's why I was late today. The lock had to get cut out of the door, replaced with another lock, and then fixed. So it was just a massive drama all the way through, realistically. It's just silly. Just a silly set of circumstances, right? Just like set off on March. 3-hour drive, make me laugh for all that time. It's an order. I can't make you laugh. I'm not the bestest at comedy. Hold on. The guy in charge of the super secret project has just told me something. Oh, good. Right. Are you all good? What's going on? Anyone doing any hobby, or is everyone at work? In which case, let's talk about hobby. I built this guy when I was talking to Dispossessed Dan the other day. Look at that. Can't wait to paint it. This is one of the coolest models I think they might have made. Maybe just like the kind of general shape of it. It's a bit hench, and this is cool as well. The horn. Brr! I ride for thunder. Afternoon, OJ. How you doing? You have the power and I have faith. Thanks, man. Hey, Flukesy. Flukesy, you got the dragon, right? Like, you got the dragon. Yeah, you're going to do the dragon. Are you going to paint it? That's my question. Because you know what you'll do? You'll leave it till the Friday night, and I don't think that that's the thing you can build and paint in a day. I'm just letting you know, because I know how you are, and you know that I'm not wrong. I'm watching you. Mandalay, 6 bloodthirst on the table, batch painting for the win. Wow, 6? Why are you painting 6? What's that for? The default, your work colouring in, but actually trying to work out what kind, night house, etc. for you know what. That's right. What house are you going to stick it in the link if you get the chance? Doing some upscale jeans to the course frequency. Oh, nice. Grey Knights, sorry. It's in the post. Right. Make sure you get it sorted. I want to see progress reports the day it comes. Right? I'm going to be on you. Rust Hounds. Let's have a look what the Rust Hounds night household is. Night household. Rust Hounds. I'm very excited about the all-night tournament, if I'm honest. I think it's going to be a bit legendary. What do they look like, the Rust Hounds? I've got to say, fandom. Does everyone know that? Oh, it's a Nurgle one. All right. It's all green. Does everyone know that Games Workshop don't actually have a repository for their own knowledge for their game systems? So what they actually do is they go on is it 40k wiki? One of those. I was sat in a meeting where they were telling me, and this is what's really important. They were saying if someone went on and just updated some of the information, that would become law. How terrifying and cool is that story all at the same time? Who's saying hi? Look at this. Ange, how you doing? Does adding models to web carts on the slide work count as hobby? Yes, I think it does. Yeah. Otherwise, we've all done less hobby than we think. OJ, I just finished the spell singer. Join Discord and put it on there. Yeah, baby. All right, I'll come check it out in a bit. Just barely up, heading to work. To watch in the office. Hi, Restanti. Hope you're doing well. Hope office is before. Hi, Diagnosis. Babe. Debolt. Pass now, Death Guard. All right. It's the first thing getting painted as soon as I can. Good. Good. If you need help, please don't know. Oh, you're sick at work. That's the worst. I won't lie to you guys. I feel a bit rubbish today. I stayed up till 4 last night doing some work for the show, which is my usual kind of like general bedtime anyway. Seeing as I'll be up till 4 tonight, so I'll be starting DJing at 10. So that's going to be, I've got some stuff to do out later. Mr. Kapowski at work, but shopping for some kits on the sly. Some kits? Is everyone excited about orcs? Does anyone care about orcs? Is anyone excited about orcs? This is a welcome distraction. Good. All right. For an AOS list, a small Finecast one, and Scarbrand I was doing. Oh, nice. All right. The Bloodthirsters. Hi, Oaken Pin. Hope you're well. Wait, Games Workshop doesn't know their own law. It's not that they don't know their own law. They just don't have a repository for their own law. So, obviously, High Loft Hammer. So you're coming into Games Workshop at whatever point that you've been into Warhammer. Obviously, it's been in existence since the 80s. Now, obviously, it's not the same background writers and it's not the same rules writers as was, 40 years ago. That's terrible. Oh, nearly 40 years ago. And what's important to note is that obviously they've changed over time. So, like, retained knowledge has been lost. So, wiki fandom is literally the reason that, like, 40k wiki fandom or whatever it might be is the reason that that's where they go. That they go in there and they write it. Now, there is a guy whose job it is, just as I was leaving, his job was to go and make an internal repository of all the knowledge. Good luck to him. But I think that's particularly funny. I've got 40 Reavers to paint and a couple of heroes. Flukesy, you've got this. I believe in you. DJ Batman you started in 1992. Nice. Suddenly this is not exciting, but what gives you guys more money? Twitch or Patreon? Suddenly this is not exciting. Patreon gives us more, man. Twitch takes half of everything until we reach partner, and then we can maybe get a little bit better. But Patreon's like the business. It's also something I'm going to use as a blog in the future. Not right now. I've actually not put anything on it for like a month and a half. But that's because the secret project is going to blow people away, and I literally am working on that right now. Every day, all day, for the rest of my life. What is no longer available on the Games Workshop site mean? Which unit.com? No longer available means, yeah, it's out. It's not coming back into print at the minute until they re-announce it. They've run out of stock, is the answer. I did a whole 2K in one night and fine. You're not fine. Stop this. Yeah? I know you're doing that little chuckle that you do, but I don't want you to. You paint. It almost sounds like my ideal job, says Mr. Kapowski. Yeah, it's a pretty cool job, right? Because since the subscription is about the same, I think I'll do the one which gives the most. Oh, brother. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, Patreon's way better. Really appreciate it. Although it's cool when you guys have got the Roblins to do the little bloop, 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 bloop. So thanks. Hi, Rintra. Hello from sunny Florida. Happy birthday. Oh, man, how hot is it there? It's getting quite cold here. Check out my hat. I think I over-prepared for the cold today. It's not this cold that I'm making out. I'm still not wearing a coat, but all the orcs are no longer available. What? That means that they're reboxing them. That's what it'll be. .com. Games Workshop. Let's go have a look. Let's go have a look at the mother site. Modelfloggers.com. See if I can help you guys out a little bit. I tell you what, against this white background, my skin looks so pale. I'm very white. I'm a very white man. Like, I'm so privileged. That's right. So, hold on. Let's have a look at Orcs. Gonna get some more dice done. I know you're busy as fuck. Cash waiting. Alright, yes. Yes, more dice done. It's not that It's not, yeah. All right, we'll get more dice sorted. We'll just do that now. In fact, I'm going to message John, and I'll say, John, let's just order the dice. And then hopefully we don't need that money for something else. And we'll just see. We got this. No problem. Hold on. Orcs. What's sold out? There's nothing sold out on the website. Is it just your country that they're sold out? Have you thought about that? Yeah. There's no orcs. All the orcs are available on the web store. What the hell? Got to clear the room first. Was Orktober a case of hyping and under-delivering, believing their own hype, or pushing back the schedule as it was leaked earlier than expected? DJ Batman, I think Orktober was just... I just don't think that they really... Like, their advertising department is a bunch of people that used to work in a shop. They're not really, like... They don't really understand about delivering when it comes to advertising. That's not meant to be rude. That's just meant to be effective. They don't really understand hype and then delivering. Like, they don't understand managing expectations. It's not really their skill sets. So, you know, and they've got such a cool product to flog, right? 28 degrees over there, Intra. Bit jealous. You sat outside in a cafe just having a great time. I hope. So Reebok's boys, yeah, this I'll do this. I'll do this for the show. Hold on. Reebok's boys, bikers, Gretchen and Thraka. Yeah, .com. Depends where you are though. You're in the UK, right? If you're not, maybe they're just sold out locally. Against white, you should look darker, mate. Yeah, look at this. Look at that. Basically blend in, I think. Did they just hear someone in their own chat go, hey, call it October? I think that was a cool idea which they ran with, not realising the hype train they caused. I mean, people have been talking about it through all of October. I don't know. Sum total of their October strategy was the word October. Maybe they plan to release Orc models every single. Where did Rob go? Fuck off, Lucy. Maybe they plan to release Orc models every single October from now on, and they just wanted to get us in the flow yearly. Mr. Capacity, managing expectations is the biggest failing I see them having. Yeah. It's something that they really don't understand. Like, it's okay to deliver an average product if you hype it averagely, right? Like, it's fine, like, being honest about what you do. But then that's far and away not what they understand. I mean, the best sort of product developers develop great products, then sell them really hard. But let's not bother with that. They are bad at it, in my opinion. Other people don't agree? Then you guys are great. And you're welcome to your opinion, in my opinion. Fucking hell. They tend to let things run away from them. They do. I'm so bored of hashtag October. I don't want any orcs. It's a big old fish. But we're not even getting the codex in our hands in October. No, we're not. I mean, you could go into a store right now, buy a box of orcs, and then you would literally be part of October, right? You would be the man. Just saying. It would be cool to play some orcs, actually. I wonder if like all those YouTube bat rappers have just been doing like orc battle reports all month, or they'd like prepped. They were like, right, orc battle reports, and they like booked some people in, and then they were like, when is the book coming out? I suppose most of them get codexes ahead of time, so that they do favourable reviews. But hold on. The Secret Project has just delivered some more information. If he's out there listening, the Secret Project developer. Wow. Holy shit. That's what I'm going to write back. Holy shit. Wow. Wowie. Okay. Let me just tell you, there's some cool shit coming in the Secret Project. Right. Should we carry on what we were doing yesterday, if everyone was here yesterday? If anyone wants to ask me any questions about anything, you got me for a couple of hours, please feel free. A year of the Honest Wargamer, I'm over the moon. It's amazing. Like, there's so many people that I need to thank. Like, the guy that, the venue where I'm at, so the guy that runs it, he has been responsible, basically, for allowing this to happen for the past year. Nicest man you ever want to meet in the whole wide world. Like, so, like, it's crazy. Like, the people that have helped support make this happen so you guys can listen to me ramble on the internet have been astounding. Obviously, all the guys that helped with the show yesterday, John, you guys in the chat, just everyone has been the most supportive group of people ever. So I'm very, very thankful, which is why I'm here. And you guys are helping me with my workbook, if you guys don't mind that, because I have a million things to do. And this is one of those things. So let's do it. So you're hanging out with me at work while you're doing your work while I do my work. But my work is Warhammer related. So hopefully it's interesting. But I do have a question from Diagnosis. So why did you choose Knights over Iris, replace the Harlequins? Well, I haven't played a 40k game yet. So what I might do is I might switch to Orcs when they come out, realistically, and then just stick there. But Knights are really simple, really easy to pick up. I don't have to overthink it. Someone can just say, do you want to go play a game? Pick up my box with my Knights in, take it to the place, play my game, leave. Like, really low impact. I think what I'd like to spend a lot of time doing when I'm at tournaments at the minute is, because I'm going to be developing my skill sets for Age of Sigmar quite heavily, I think. I think what I'd like to do is with the Knights is watch other armies play. So I'd like to spend my turn be 5-10 minutes long max, and then watch my opponent's turns for 30-40 minutes, because I probably can't play every 40k army well enough that I want to play it over the next 2 years. But I think I can watch. I go to a lot of tournaments and watch other people's armies play against me. Does that make sense? So I think if I play Knights, it's kind of like a blank slate, just watching. Just be like, right, what are you doing? What's your plan? What can you do? And I'm going to put some infantry in there as well, so I can see what they do against infantry. Then I can just explore other people's armies, as opposed to, and then mine being quite static and bland. It's not going to be very entertaining for me as a gamer, but it's going to be interesting for me to watch those games. So that's why I chose Knights. Make sense? And if I play Orcs, I'll probably have to be very invested in playing with the Orcs, which is just fucking massive stress. Plus, I think the missions suck currently. And unless Chapter Approved gets better, I think the missions for 40k are really bad. Like, I'm not saying unplayable, but bad. Those are my opinions. Yeah, nice one, man. Hi, Robert Extreme. Hope you're well. Lol, Rob. That hat, I thought you turned into a Cossack news channel. Yes. Welcome to the news. The Ox. Parody's fine, right? Like, it's not. Welcome to the show. My name's Rob, and welcome. No, that's not Cossack either. I can't do it, and I won't do it. I have a Chechen friend. I could get him on. He really loves Christina Aguilera. We've been taken over by the Russians. That's right. Just to be Orcs, as Orcs are best. Hi, Saligum. Can you hear me? I cannot hear you. Are you talking? I can see you writing, if that helps. You want to play Orcs? Talk to Toby. Why is there a talking hat on the screen? Got a bit of Rough Rider vibe going on in the outfit today. Thanks very much. I appreciate that. Anyway, Knights feel like the control army. Orcs is mine. Alright. Donaldinho. Hi, Donaldinho. Loved it. A bit of Red Dawn, most. Thank you. This hat was actually, some of you may know, Velatron. His son Ollie has just done an amazing board. Him and his son Ollie play Warhammer together. Velatron is, he's French-Canadian. And so, being a big fan of flannel shirts and my best Canadian tuxedo, he said, I have to get one of these hats. Now, he said he brought it from Canada, which I believed categorically. A couple of my mates were like, he's just got that from an airport, and I disagree. Don't think the man's a fibber. So this is all down to him, and I'm wearing it in honour. I'm trying to do something about the people who supported the show every week, every day, so that's what we're about. Thanks very much. Thanks, Donal. Donal, you make me laugh so much. You're like one of the funniest people. Right, okay. I don't know why I just got shy. Whew. This happens in the correct terror centers room. So guess the rest of the week. Yeah, so we have, FYI, we have guests joining me for the rest of the week. Tomorrow, me and John. John will be talking on Discord, so he'll be talking while I'm here. Interesting fact about John is you won't be able to see him do this face that he does when he doesn't agree with things. This is John, who does all of the Roblins, and he does all the drawing, and he's just a generally wonderful person, helps keep me organised. It would be amazing if one day the show made enough money that John could come and work with me full time. That'd be a dream of mine, to be honest, and probably be true for all of the guys that help run the show. If we could eventually get to that stage, I'd be over the moon. Which is why we're diversifying, right? Starting to run events, a whole bunch of other stuff. But John, when you get into a discussion with him about something he doesn't like, does this face. You go, John, what do you think about the fact No Walks came out in October? It's honestly 100% spot on. That's his face. You need to see it. It's the best. Whenever we live stream any of the events in the future, and if you happen to turn up, just walk up to him while he's doing all the button pushing and go, John, how you doing? Anyway, let's talk some Warhammer. Yeah, he's got such a great disgruntled face. Yeah, you just did that face at me doing the face. Nailed it. Oh my god. I'm not sure I get that yet. By the way, the secret project has just had a huge development that I can't really explain to you right now. But basically, imagine we're going to revolutionise Warhammer. Done. You've heard that here first. You guys are the first people to know that at the launch, we're launching it at Crimbobo, so whenever that is, the end of November, we're about to revolutionise Warhammer. That's right. So I've said it. Get ready. Get ready. And that does not mean we're making a website that's got paid for content on it. That's like, would you like to subscribe for $7.99? We'll do some battle reports. Nope. None of that. Everything will be free. And it's going to change Warhammer forever. In my opinion. Right. Also, I think we're going to need a lawyer. So, because there's nothing infringing copyright law. I'm pretty certain, but I'm pretty certain Games Workshop still go after us because they're just like, we're going to get you. Because they're going to wish that they had what we're going to have. So, that's fun. Right, Hype Train Super Secret Project, get ready. Yeah, it's going to be, augmented reality. We're not that good. It's me and one guy. Like, I suppose Microsoft will say. It is really hurting me not telling anyone. So, let's move on before my mouth runs away with. I'm just going to say, talk to you later. Talk to you later. It's getting me too excited. To talk to you later. It's getting me too excited. Right. So you guys, if any of you here yesterday when we did the terms, we were doing the terminology. So we did all this yesterday. It was a little bit complicated. Still secret. It's not babies. So I hope you guys pick that up. So yeah, if you guys were here yesterday, he's just linked at me, so I can just do it out of that. We were doing the terminology for the workbook. So before we go back into the terminology, we're gonna start. You guys are gonna start to see the shape of the workbook. You should copyright it so Games Workshop doesn't copy you. I think we are gonna. I think that's how it works. Oh, John, what have you made? Secret project. What's this? Is this? Oh my god! That is. See, that's his face. That's his face to every suggestion I make. I say, "Hey John, let's do this thing," and he goes, "We can't possibly do that." Also, John, let's just order some more dice. Someone was saying about dice. I'll send you the money now. Let's just order it right now. Let's just get dice. Let's go. Let's order it, and then I'm gonna get a credit card. Let's go. Order the dice. Okay. And then I'm sure all these fine fellows in the chat, and ladies, are going to buy a bunch of dice. So that should be good. Let's get the dice done. Right, so we're talking about the workbook. And the workbook's going to be like a downloadable file that you can do. You're going to stick in a ring binder. Me and John were talking yesterday. We're probably going to order Honest Wargamer ring binders that you're going to be able to buy if you want. Harrylicious, dice me, bro. And what you're going to be able to do is get your little ring binder and be like, oh, this is so cool. And it's going to have you're going to clip in your workbook, and then if you want a new workbook or whatever, then you're going to be able to unclip it. So the ring binders will be the only thing that we sell, and obviously you don't have to decide. You don't have to decide to get it. You can get your own ring binder from like Wilco or whatever your local shop is, Target, or anyway, you don't even have to have a ring binder. You just have sheafs of paper. But I mean, come on, we're better than that as a group. We're going to be better than that. So what's the workbook's mission? So the workbook's mission is what you do. And I had an amazing email yesterday off a man called Charles. And because sometimes, so when we did the stat show yesterday for LLV, if some of you guys watched last night, what that does is that concentrates a lot on the performances of different factions, right? Which is absolutely valid, totally valid, and really worthwhile, because it really does give you an indication. I feel like Daughters of Cain are really strong. It's like, actually, the stats support that they are really strong. But, like Charles was saying yesterday, and I think some people in this chat will agree with, and I definitely am a supporter of, I think you can play better with your supposed subpar army. Chessex ones, John. Yeah, your supposed poor army. So what I mean by that is, you can, like, the armies aren't necessarily poor, they're just not being played well. And so he was saying that it's all about tactics and how you play, which is what the workbook's about. So the workbook's non-faction related. It's just whatever faction you want to play, whatever game system you want to play, you can use the workbook, right? Happy with that? So you guys are going to help me out because we are going to do this. So does anyone know what the first thing that they do when they decide that they want to play an army is, and how they do it? Like, what's your system? Like, I'm going to play an army. What's your first port of call when you're playing an army? Pick lizards. Good point, Robert Extreme. If you want to go to print, I know a few published authors that can give you some tips. Yeah, Carmack, that would be cool, but I think we're going to update it so quickly, so often, it would just be better if it was a downloadable one. Maybe we'll do some, like, special edition ones, maybe, in the future when we feel like it's more finalised. But I imagine over the first 6 months, I intend to change it quite a lot. Not loads, but enough that, like, it's more. I'd like to perfect it. I'd like to, like, think that I'm not going to nail this out there by it, but it's going to be a good grounding to start it off, right? Do they look cool? Says Herodicious. OJ, check my bank balance. I'm going to play an army. What is cool? Find cool minis. Who isn't a published author? Oh, I am. Look at the artwork and the minis. Great shout, Donaldinho. Figure out if it's good later. Tune in half a seat. Wonder why there's a Canadian construction worker on screen. Because you are lucky. Fine, sir. In fact. And LOV, all I can say to you, morning by the way, all I can say to you is that you are a chiseler. Yeah, that's right. You've been called a chiseler by me. How much does the troop option cost? Just buy everything, says Love Toma. Okay, so not really constructive. So I would say the first question you ask yourself, like if you were to build an army, is what sort of player are you? In my opinion, so there's the stage that we're going to currently write about or talk about is the pre-army picking phase. Army picking phase. Yeah. So this is before you've even picked your army and decided what army you're going to play with, right? Now, I know a lot of people say pick the models that you like. You're going to have to stick with them and love them, and I do agree with that, absolutely. But it seems really silly to really enjoy the models of a defensive army when you're a really aggressive player, right? That doesn't really make sense. What the fuck is a chiseler? A chiseler is a hockey player who falsely claims he got an assist when he didn't, thus chiseling points from his teammate. All right, you don't have to be one of those. You can be a hoser. Or a rink rat. A somewhat affectionate term for a kid who hangs around a skating park, sometimes to meet players, sometimes try and get free ice time in exchange for chores. Yeah, how do you feel about them, Matt? How do you feel about them? Maple leaves. I also like look at the start box and see how much to value that. Okay. Buy a box of most units, then figure out what it all can do. Then wish I'd planned a list more carefully before buying one of everything. Then decide to paint up an army anyway to get beat every game. Rintra. See, I feel we can improve that method, Rintra, and you know that we can. We both know that we can. UK Pagan, grind up Drygo into Finder, snort him, then go buy everything. Wake up and go, what the fuck am I doing? Hi, Shine. Hi, Robert Chat. A flannel hat. No, I've seen everything and could die. Financial commitment normally comes first, i.e. 2,000 points for orcs cost a lot more than 2,000 points for custodians. It really does as well. So that's a good point. So what's your budget? So pre-army phase, what's your budget? That's a really good point. What's your budget? And I suppose that comes into what's your budget in money and time. Okay, because there's going to be a factor of how long it's going to take you to produce the army, right? So what's your budget in money and time? That's really important for you to answer in the workbook. First questions you should answer. So you guys are coming up with some good stuff now, right? Defensive versus aggressive player style. I choose something based on whether I want to paint it, and it's melee based-ish. No gun lines for me. That's it. There you go. So you know yourself, right? You know you don't want to do no shooting, so you go and do something fighting. OJ, well played. Unless you're putting cost totally out of the equation. I'm not up to speed on Canadian terminology. When the locals speak to me, I politely ask them to speak English. But you could call them a bow cave, which is a French Quebecy slang meaning total idiot. If you get called this, you really irk someone. A bow cave, right? As in bow, as in she's my bow. Time to build and paint an army versus down line, yeah. So what budget? What's your budget and money and time? So this is the pre-army picking phase, which I don't really think people give people a lot of advice on. I think what they say is just pick the models you like or the story or the background you like, which is really, really valid. But there is so much more involved, right? Yeah. And then what are your aims? That's the next one. What are your aims? And if you're reading through the workbook, I assume it's to take them to a tournament. But what are your aims with the army? Is also a really great question in the army. What do you want to achieve? Question mark, question mark. I don't want to know how much the new Warp vehicle will cost. You get them in the box, right? You get them in the box set. Speed Freaks. Speed Freaks! Lofthammer, is the army to paint high standard? Lofthammer, so is a requirement for you to paint to a high standard. That's it. So I suppose, isn't that fitting what's your budget in money and time? Right? I guess that's really important. Wow, £27.50 each for the fucking bikes and the vehicles. They look cool though. You want to have 5 great games. What are your aims with the army? 5 great games. Okay, so that's really interesting. If you break down how you want the army to play. See, if you want it to win games, then the key should just be like there's like sliding scales, right? You want to just win games, then the army doesn't have to be very entertaining. More than least, very entertaining for you to play, or really for your opponent to play against, depending on what gaming format you're going and playing into. For instance, at the Heats, having soft scores come into effect in sports votes means that you do have to make sure your army's somewhat engaging to play, or you're engaging to play, one of those two. Whereas if you're just wanting to win, and you're just wanting to get an army that kicks face, it doesn't really matter if you like the models, or you like what they are, or any of those things. However, if you want to try to win games but also enjoy your games, you have to find the army that plays the way you like playing. Do you like sneaky traps? Do you like just sitting and shooting? So you have to really identify yourself as a gamer first, right? So make it look good for display or make it good for competitive gaming, or both if possible. An ability to buy coins cheaply second-hand. Choose an army. I think there are 2 types. Long-term hobby and an event army. I think, LLV, I don't think that's necessarily true. I think if you look at the Australian group specifically, like they're very committed to both. And if you look at people in the UK like Byron or Terry Pike or any of those guys, they've been playing the same army continuously. Now Terry's posted like up and down results over the past 2 or 3 years with basically the same army, but Byron's always done consistently well with that same Phoenix kind of, I don't know, it's a dragon one day, it's a Phoenix the next day army, but it's a blue army, right? So there's a whole bunch of people who, I suppose, really he's not actually playing the same army, he's playing the same models. And then there are other guys that have continually played with the same armies, like Donaldinho's in the chat, who just keeps banging away with destruction and focusing on those. So I suppose really what I'm trying to say is you can have a hobby army that you get a better skill set with over time and develop better potentially. I think that is true. I just think you're right. A lot of people just buy the new great thing and then just smash into it at an event and it looks shitty. That's not always true either, because some people can knock out a beautiful army in like 2 weeks and it makes you want to cry. See you later, Loftham. Have a good day. Spain is another good example. What of? Wow. You sure you don't forgot one in front? Aim for games, make my opponent cry, turn 2. Go back hobby, I have I looked at what's new and what had decent range, and I chose Lisa to Gas. More recently, I decided to get Boba. I need something easy to travel with, so I chose Stormcast. Hi, Superstar, hope you're doing well. Hi, Tom, also. Big Rograx in the house. Army's looking awesome and still being good. Yes. Yes, so what's your budget in time and money? So that's time to produce the army to the standard that you want, right? To the standard and quality that you want the look of. And then how much can you afford? What are your aims with the army are also tied in there, and tied in with making them look good, or winning games. So I think that answers those questions really. And these, by the way, are just going to be titles and questions, and then all this stuff that we've talked about here is kind of going to get filled into those categories as well. I think underneath, and then the people can answer the questions. Hi, Mr. Actor. Hope you're doing really well. Blood temperature is important. How long are you going to use that army for? Like, is it in the next 3 years, or just want to exploit a trick, e.g., gobbo 1 billion damage to prove a point until it gets patched? Yeah. So, what are your aims with the army? Right? What's your budget in money and time? What are your aims with the army? And then I'm sure someone said something that I wanted to add to that mix. The ease of travel. Yeah. Will it have to travel? Will it have to travel? Travel. Great question. Will it have to travel? And then can it? Right. So I think that's before you even pick the army, right? That's unless anyone can think of anything else. I mean, obviously, like I'll put in, as always, we advise love the art, love the narrative, and the models. That's an addendum, because some people don't. I would say that it's very important to me, but some people don't. So it isn't across the board, that fact, and it's like a grown-up realization with, like, you know, that scroll of truth, and it's, you open it, but it says some people don't like how their army looks or the story. They just play it to win. And you're like, okay, all right, fair enough. That's a truth that we have to. DJ Batman, that's ease of playtime to master. So I think that's really important as well. But we'll get to that in a second. So does it suit your playstyle? So that's the next thing as well. So I think the question to ask yourself is, what type of gamer are you? What type of gamer is you? And this is where I think it's going to get really interesting for us as a group. What type of gamer are you? What type of gamer are you? Question mark, question mark. Type of model availability, easy plastic, not resin. Yeah, I suppose that's true as well. I suppose I'll put that in time. So like, I'm going to put hobby time as well. Hobby. I'm just going to put hobby in there because that's going to be important. So what type of gamer are you? All right. So this is everyone's opportunity to talk about all the types of gamers they play, or talk about themselves as different types of gamers. So I like to play castle armies. Yeah, so I like armies that play in all the phases and can be built defensively, but still interact. Right. So I like strong front lines and shooting over the top. I don't know who I would be. I'd probably be like a Roman legionnaire, realistically, back in the day. But I like castle armies. Right. And I know when I'm going to write that down, I'm going to know how to write that out later on when it comes to the workbook. So Alpha Strike aggressive. I think that's fine. Alpha Strike aggressive is aggressive players. Can anyone think of any other type of players and how they play? For newish players, though, it takes time to find your playstyle. Certainly has for me. It's a really good point, Soupster. That is a good point. And unfortunately, that's not going to be something people can like. Well, they can. There are things that they can do. Like, for instance, you could do one or two things. You could spend £2,000 or $2,000 or dollars on a bunch of models you don't know if you like, or you don't know like how they play, or you could get a bunch of empty bases and write the name of the things on and play like 25 games without ever having bought a model, so you can kind of understand what type of gamer you are. Like, this is going to be advice that goes in a book. And then you go, okay, I don't really like running around the board or like having really delicate armies. I like big, solid, chunky units that don't die and are immune to battle shot. You're like, okay, cool. You know, that's cool. That's who you are now. So that'll be part of it. Like, what type of gamer are you? Like that's why it comes before you pick an army. I think being able to identify what sort of gamer you are is going to be quite important, right? before you spend the money. I mean, if you've got the money and the time to just use, I say use, not waste, to use to achieve your aim, then that's cool. I think that's fair. Does anyone think that's not fair? Because like it's an open forum. We're all together. Night first sounds finesse and reactionary. So you like to cause a threat overload. Okay. Finesse, reactionary. I think there are also gamble gamers as well. People who like to risk big and win big or lose big. Gamble gamers. I think that's definitely a play style that you don't really talk about. I thought I was full on spicy shit, actually. It turns out I'm wrong. Soup, so what sort of gamer are you then? Tell me. Control players. Control players. That's good. Strong luck, man. Thanks, Chris. Underscore, thanks for stalking us. What's the exception of Sanctuary? I always seem to play that guy. Alright, okay. Control, Horde. Horde, yeah. Control players. So, I suppose we need to write that up somehow. So I suppose, yeah, they're controlling. So like sociopaths, right? Every control player is a sociopath. Every time someone's there with the gash, it's like, half move, no attacks, -1 to hit, you're like, you're the sort of person that freaks out if you don't take your shoes off in the house, right? That's the gash player. By the way, if you're all those sorts of people, I'm not meaning to offend you. I'm just saying. Yes, speedy armies. Thanks, Tristan. Also, hi. Some mobility, if mobility is an issue. Either for or against mobility is something that you want or don't want. Playstyle keywords for each force. Well, that's mainly what I'm aiming for, Sunnis. Something that so people can, because this is all before you identify what sort of gamer you are, and then you come to the factions, let's say for Age of Sigmar, and you say, right, I want a defensive fast army. And then someone goes, Nurgle, and you go, well, there's no way they're fast. It's Nurgle. It's like, they're one of the fastest armies in the game. And you're like, that's weird. It's like, yeah, that is weird. And some armies like Nurgle can play in all of the ways. You know, you could have a very glass cannon Nurgle army. You can have a very robust, tough Nurgle army. Some armies, like Kharadron Overlords, for instance, they don't really have an option to be a combat force. So you are very hampered in. And as long as you're okay with that and you know that going in, then you're going to be fine. Whereas Stormcast can basically play exactly how you want all the time. Which is why Stormcast, who was saying earlier? Soupster was saying, sometimes I'm only going to be able to play. I didn't know what sort of player I was. Probably Stormcast is a great suggestion for your first pick army, because you can be like, I really like the shooting from this unit, actually. I'd like to get more shooting. You can just add those in, as opposed to having to rebuy or redefine an army. Like Death armies can do basically no shooting, right? So you can't pick Death if you potentially want to be interested. But Magic is ranged. So I suppose we might have to all as a group get away from the idea of shooting being ranged. It's just shooting is ranged, so range damage is going to have to be our way of talking about it, I think. I don't think it's magic, shooting, and combat. I think it's ranged, close quarters. That was loads of words. Short have what experience of playing them is. Playstyle keywords for each force. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. There will be keywords, and it'll all be hosted inside the workbook. So you'll be able to click it, right? And the workbook will be online, so you'll be able to click around and work it through. Maybe add the amount of models. Is it an elite or a swarm army? Yes. What about playtime? Fast playtime. I know some people. I don't know if anyone else agrees with this, but I know for a fact that over the course of a weekend, if all of my games go to 2.5 hours, you can be knackered. Take an example of me and Nikos at the Heats recently. I took my Harlequins. I played some people that didn't finish the game particularly fast. Some did, but most of the time my games were lasting for like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, whereas Nikos was just playing knights. His games were just over in half a turn. In 2 or 3 turns. And he was just so chilled and relaxed. So it really depends on how hard you want to work at the weekend as well. Maybe add the amount of models. Swarm army. I like aggressive, fast stuff. Hit hard and fast. Classic orc player. You can watch about 300 bat reps. You can get a feel of how you would like to play. Yeah. If you've got like 900,000 hours. One trick pony players. Yeah. I know people like that, and they admit that that's what they are, one-trick pony. Or trick players. I'll give you an example. Like Darren loved it. The GT finals gone just recently. He loved being able to summon units with Khorne. Like he was in his own head about his own army, as opposed to, and he was playing his opponent's armies as well. But his brain is always going so fast, and it's always ticking over, that he was just spending time thinking about how he could manipulate his own army, that his opponent almost had no opportunity to understand what the hell was going on. Does that make sense? Darren gave his opponent so many options on what to do and how to deal with it that he didn't really know what was happening, and therefore his opponent didn't. And so he just obfuscated what the best course of action would be, which I thought was really smart. Super intense and difficult to do, but I would put that in with trick players. You know, like that's my thoughts. Combo players. Yeah, oh, Mr. Hector, thank you. So you put combo players. Trick/combo players. Combo players. Math Hammer playstyle. Oh yeah, Math Hammer person. That's a type of person, isn't it? We've all met that guy. Math Hammer. Sonny, I didn't realise I was a gambler until you just said it. Yes, so Sonny, are you a gamble player? Like, do you risk big? Denial players? Donaldinho, do you think denial comes in with control players? Denial, control, denial. Denial's just not letting them have what. I'm going to put it down and see if I end up putting those together. But if you think that they're different, let me know. Complex synergies versus more pick up and play options. Yeah, so I suppose realistically, you can just ask yourself along the line. I suppose that's getting its own thing. So it's a sliding scale, right? Simple, complex. So it's like that. Yeah. Yeah. You're either a simple player, like you want a simple game, or you want a complex game. You know, your choice. I suppose that would be the first thing that you would want to ask yourself, and then I suppose the next sliding scale would be fast or slow games, I guess. So you kind of like this already starts to really define probably who you are. Like if you're a patient person, you don't mind slow games. If you're an impatient person, you're going to want fast games. And I suppose, like, if you wanted, I mean, we can do this, right? A simple fast player is an Alpha Strike player, whereas a fast but complex player is more of a, well, I suppose Eldar. They're quite complex for 40k. So Murder Host is quite complex for me, Sigmar, but it's fast and gets the job done. Whereas slow and complex is maybe Seraphon, and also maybe, I don't know. We'll work that through. That's cool. That would be quite cool to have in the workbook. Someone can like rate themselves. I think that'd be fun. Hello all, by the way. Thanks for being here. Second day of the birthday week, and thanks for helping me. It's kind of fun talking you guys through this instead of just being sat in the coffee shop on my own. The view's better in the coffee shop, I won't lie, but I have less people to talk to, so. I like playing. I'm just going to read what you guys have said now and then come back to what I'm writing. Someone in building your army defense as you go on. I like playing an army with a good amount of variety, says Tristan, in the units I can use. I like enjoying having a big brick of mans, but they also have to have some quick hitters and a block of badass. Yeah. Jokes. I played Death before Legion of the Gash and currently I enjoy lack of ability annoys me. See? This is the thing. Identifying those things. I want a highly survival army. What? The girls in bikinis. Yes, there is a. This is the thing as well. You go into the shop and you see the girls in the bikinis, and we're talking about Daughters of Cain. You see the girls in bikinis, you think, okay, yeah, like I get it. They're probably really murderous. They look really murderous, but they're going to die really easy and you go and look at like dwarves and you think, right, yeah, you know, they're tough and hardy and they'll survive all the blows. When you play in the game, the ladies are more tough than the dwarves, which is odd. I once got my 40k friends to see Magic as shooting, and they got a lot more AOS curious. There we go. Yes, Denise, that's a good point. It's all picture in my head. It's why I love Dreadnoughts. I can picture one tearing through shit. If an army creates pictures for me and my opponent, that's ace. I'm not experienced with a competitive player or care if I get battered. The bolt, like, same thing, man. Like, when I talk about these, like, sometimes, so the main crux of what this is trying to solve is the expectations that we were talking about with October earlier, that Games Workshop produce, just like LLV's pointed out. Like, you look at the Daughters of Cain and you think they are like like in your head they're crazy witches, or if you look at Harlequins and their ability to like do backflips over stuff, the rules now don't define what you would expect them to do if you look at them or the picture you have in your head, especially based on the story that you read as well, if you're into the narrative. What this is hopefully going to do when we get through the end of the process is it will define every army so that you don't have any false expectations when you buy the army. You buy the army, build the army, play the army. You play like once every 3 months if you're that sort of gamer, and then you go, this isn't working the way it's meant to work in the story, and then you get a little bit upset. So what this is hopefully doing is making you understand your expectations or managing your expectations before you even go and play a game or even buy the army, which I think is good. Fast finishers. Donaldinho, been talking to my girlfriend? What do you mean by fast finishers? Oh my god, I didn't even read, are you a fast finisher? Like, I made the joke before you made the joke. I didn't read it. As opposed to melee or range. Psychological bravery, etc. effects. Yeah, no one really is a fear player, right? Fear bombs. I mean, I don't know if they work, but fear bombs. 2 minutes in heaven is better than 1 minute in heaven. Listen, I agree. Yeah. Hero army, one character's army, like the new Forge of Dragon Lady. Ah, yeah. Hero, yes. Hero hammer player. That's cool. That's definitely a type. Hero hammer. I want all the big things. Cool. I wish a Swiss Army knife player. I build armies great enough to cover almost every playstyle I could justify. Are you the money guy? That's what the army list is called. Money guy. Choosing a unique army so your opponent won't know how your army plays. Taking advantage of your superior knowledge of the two armies on the table versus your opponent only knowing theirs. Yes, DJ Batman, that's good. So, like, are you like a knowledge player? Knowledge. Esoteric. An esoteric player. That's the word, isn't it? Esoteric. That's cool as well, because then people are like, I fit the esoteric branch. Aggro, mid-range, control, and combo. And to be honest, LLV, these probably will get narrowed down, but I just think we're all talking it through at the minute. So now stop an opponent do the things that they want. That's the same as control, I think, to be honest, Donaldinho. I think it does the same thing. Synergies, and then, I don't know if min-max is a thing. I think that's just efficiency, right? Synergies, which goes into combo plays, I think. Combo. And you are efficiency gamer. There we go. Martin Johnston, thanks so much for becoming a Patreon member. Woohoo! All right, what a nice guy. What a nice man. I will blow my trumpet of what do you want to be when you grow up, Rob? I'd like to be a man who blows a tiny trumpet when people subscribe to my Patreon. Woo! Sure. Yeah, that's who I am now. See, it was only afterwards that I thought about it. Control and denial are slightly different. Control usually means you have freedom of maneuver and ability to dictate where. Denial usually happens when you can't control the area, so you make sure the enemy can't as well. So it's like, so I suppose control and denial, one's aggressive and one's defensive, right? Control is aggressive control and denial is defensive control. Yeah? Control versus denial. Control is aggressive. And denial is defensive. Actually, denial is a river in Egypt. Oh, that is just a cracking joke. Does your playstyle determine your army? No, UK Pagan, it might help you better with your army when it comes to, like, for instance, if you're an aggro player and you try and take a defensive army to a tournament, you might eventually go aggro when you should be playing a little bit more defensive. Just because that's your playstyle. You don't have to, and some people aren't. Some people can play in all of the different ways. But what's nice is just understanding who you are initially. And because sometimes some playstyles can be unique, right? And it's good that those, I think what we don't talk about a lot, we talk about armies a lot. We talk about units a lot. But what we don't talk about is the type of people. Like, for instance, there's a lot of gamesmanship on the tabletop. I put down a big scary monster, and then people are like, oh shit, I best make sure that guy can't charge me. But actually, I put the big scary monster down to make sure that you backed away from the objectives, because all I really want to do is jump on the objectives. There's a lot of gamesmanship beyond the army, and that's what the workbook's meant to basically about. It's going to be very little to do with your army. That's for you to learn. It's going to give you processes to learn your army, but it's really about identifying you in the game you can play. I hope. I went through the same thing with Lisa now. Slan's most powerful wizards in the realm, 1 spell. Croak's got 2 spells. I'm loving them. You're loving Flesh Eater Courts. Bit fragile, but fast and ambushy. Actually playing them, it's old needs and gash night. Oh, good luck, Denise. Let us know how it goes tomorrow when we're live again. Sweet, as long as you're enjoying them, that's the main thing. Combo, indeed, and I'm not splitting my attention or skill. Oh man, why didn't I think of this? Rob, have you seen a book called Next Level Deck Building? My Patrick Chapin would be highly relevant to this as it breaks down core concepts I'm pretty sure could apply to Warhammer. Please, could you send me a link on Discord? I would like that. Thank you very much. The Art of Winning is I've read, and I'm halfway through. Let me just go find it for you. Not spill anything. I'm halfway through Zones of Control, which is quite fun. I don't know where my book is, but so yeah, any more books, that would be great. Smarter I am, well, can't get done. I blow tiny trumpets for $10. That's correct. That is now an official Honest Wargamer thing. Anyone subscribes on Patreon for $10, I will blow my tiny trumpet. And then if you ever subscribe for $50 on Patreon, I'm not going to tell you what I'll do with this bull, but I appreciate it. That's all I'm going to say. Will there be a list of playstyles in the workbook? Yes, there will. And they'll have headings and they'll have descriptions. What I think will happen in the future is a whole bunch of people will send me a bunch of info and they'll say, I don't really agree with your terminology here, or I don't agree with what you said there. And then I'll put that under review and I'll start to filter that process. And then the workbook should become better over time. I hope, because it's meant to be a free resource. And then eventually, it's meant to be everyone's thoughts on the thing with it. But imagine I'm going to be a managing editor, as opposed to just because I want it to be good. So someone has to make a decision. Someone has to be in charge at some point along the way. Can't just have 1,000 people thrown. Otherwise you end up with TGA, and no one wants that. I just saw the thumbnail on YouTube, the stream, and thought Robert joined the terrorist cult. Hi Tuffy, how you doing? Papine, fantastic hat, bruh. Thanks. Thank you. How did you know? Yeah, it's a pretty cool hat, right? I like it anyway. Do I blow other people's trumpets for cash? No. I'm not that poor yet, but maybe sometime soon. Who knows? Cool. So, before you even choose your army, you've worked out what your budget is in both money and the time to produce the army. We've set out what your aims are with the army. Do you want it to be pretty? Do you want it to win games? Do you want it to have be fun? Do you want it to grab people's attention, or do you want it to tell a story in your head? And then finally we put, and then will you have to travel with it, and can you travel with it? How transportable is it? Effectively every army is transportable, but it really does relate to what's your budget in time and money, right? And then finally, you've got what type of gamer are you? And I think all of this comes into effect before you even start to look at the factions. I think there's nothing else that comes into effect before you look at the factions that you would want to play for your army. Would you say that there is? Or would you say... Now, obviously, I'm super lucky, because obviously I live in Nottingham, and here in Nottingham, I could throw a rock and find someone to play Warhammer with. And I do a show about Warhammer, so also same thing. But I guess for some people, and I don't know this, so maybe I'm missing this part, and I can't empathise. Is there a thing where you have to really ask yourself, what are my local gaming group playing? Or what are the people in my local area playing when it comes to gaming? Because that might be an issue, right? Have fun, John. That bull is massive. It is cool. Look at it. Oh, thanks, LLV. By the way, this is both the tiny horn and the bull was sent to me by LLV for my birthday. And they were built the other day when I was talking to Dispossessed Dan. And I'm going to get a Zangor Shaman. I'm going to be like, beep, 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 beep. It's going to be so good. So good. Anyway. Yeah, availability is a real thing. So you think that is really important. So, okay. That goes into this list as well. Okay. So the availability of your local player base. Availability of your local player base. Of your local player base. Okay. Nice. And then, I guess what we need to help identify is like, write a guide for finding people to play with. Write a guide for finding people to play with, right? And do people have suggestions? People to play with. Yeah. Do people have suggestions on how they can do that in the chat? Because again, really easy for me. I'm going to put a dwarf on top of the ball. I actually think, realistically, I'm probably going to buy another one of these box sets. It's very difficult for me to not play Beast of Chaos, number one. Number two, I think that this model is so integral. Like, it's such a good model to fit into with my Chaos Dwarf range. I think I would really like to get one of these, maybe pulling an Iron Demon War Engine would look really funky, I think, and maybe make the Iron Demon War Engine kind of have flames coming out the back and make it a bit like a Black Coach. I think I would like to have one of these with, like you say, with a dwarf on top riding it. I think that would be really fun. I just think there's loads. Same with the horn. I want to put a Demon Smith on a rock on top of the horn, like he's blowing the horn of Helm's Deep. And that sort of jazz. These models are just absolutely exceptional, in my opinion. So yeah, loads of room. Yeah, the endless. I think one of the best things that Games Workshop are doing at the minute is the endless spells, and my reasoning for that is because they're just giving you massive kits that are quite simple. Sorry, guys. That are quite simple, but you're gonna be able to put on like so many like other models, right? I think they're awesome. So yeah, local meta. If everyone has Marines, last thing you want to play is Marines. If you have a unique army, people want to play you more. So yeah, having unique armies, have a unique army. Have a unique army. Okay. If you want something more unique than others, it's a legit fear to be playing mirror matches. But you learn a lot from mirror matches. I think you learn a lot from the other person, right? Restrict availability of the miniature in shop, like not having the Cauldron of Blood for months can block an army. That's hadn't thought about that as well. Model availability. Thank you. Model availability. Availability. That's really smart. Appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. I meant availability of the model as well. All right, LLV, same thing. Facebook groups. So ways to go about it. Facebook groups, FB groups. So would you advise afternoon comrade Rob, hi Tugboat K. Sexy saxophone dwarf. Wouldn't that be cool? Sexy saxophone dwarf. Yeah, man. We're going to interrupt Renaris now. Hey, Commissar Roboff. Hi, Hellstorm Dan. Hope you're well. Hope you're doing well. I'm going to get myself a drink. I'm struggling a bit today with the old voice. Let's see how we're going to do on Friday. I've got some special guests this week, though, which is exciting. That's great. So, Facebook groups. Would you advise? I think everyone should make a Twitter, personally. And then potentially just a Warhammer Gmail. So, like, again, if you don't want to be like in social media and you only want to via emails, Warhammer Gmail, you don't want to be that, like, some people feel a bit odd about it, then that would be the way. I personally think that that's not really what people should do, but that's fine. Yeah, I joined the Bugma one, and it's great. The Robert Extreme, you're talking about the Facebook group? Yeah, I think you are. Need a Curse Wolf emblem on the front of it. What, on this fella? Oh, no, wait, on my hat. Oh, it is Kite Chaos Dwarfy. That's right. That's right. The best dwarves always. Thanks, Hellstorm Dan. Appreciate that loads. But Twitter has a yeah. All right, okay. So currently, what we're talking about is ways that people can find people to game with over the weekends. Facebook groups, Twitter. Make yourself an email, and then there's no other way to do it right now. There's an app as well. I know that there's an app somewhere in the world. There is an app, so I'm going to find out its name and include it. There's an app for finding gamers, which I don't know what it's called. First Night Stands, I was a closet 40k player for years. Please expand on that story. I really want to know. When's your next Dispossessed Dantor and special spreadsheet I was going to make if you discussed with you long? Actually, I've already done one. It's in the can and it's getting uploaded after I finish this show. But then the next time we talk about one will be this month. And LLV, obviously, he'll be live at Crimbobo event doing the commentating with me. So that's really fun. But yeah, please send it to me. It's going to be sweet. Pete, if you really want to grow the group of players you play with in the local area, I think you just need to take the bull by the horns and organise events or campaigns, etc., and keep doing it even when only 2 people show up. Momentum will eventually kick in if you continue to push it. That's big shout out, Pete, and I know for that to be true because, again, I don't want to say this over and over, but I'm going to have to. A lot of the guys in Northern Ireland specifically point Pete out as being the man responsible for helping engender the Age of Sigmar community over there in a big way. So big shout out to him on being his community's leader and kicking ass. Same with Clint in Australia for the Heralds of War. There's a whole group of people just putting their heart on the line and just making it happen. Right? Hi Nikos, how you doing? What you up to? Game 4 app. Is it Game 4 FOR or is it Game and then the number 4? If anyone wants the games down Stratford upon Avon, says Tugboat by the way. We're always welcoming to new people in our little club and don't always get knacked playing Warhammer. Is it cold in Russia today? It's comrade. You must join our alliance. Nikos, how's the scenery going for the League of Knights? I tell you guys that I'm fucking excited about the League of Knights. It is going to be sweet. I was trying to do it was like 3 o'clock and I was trying to do some After Effects stuff for some of the things that we want to do for the League of Knights. I was like, falling asleep. I was like, stop this, Rob, just go to sleep. But it's going to be badass. It's going to be so good. Also, Nikos, you're an admin on Discord. You should message the secret project manager and get him to show you the secret project thing that he's just invented. Because it works for the League of Knights. So excited. So excited. Game 4. Thank you. No one let me talk about the secret project. I'm too excited. Right, we'll just talk about something else. Also, how is everyone and what are you doing? Let me talk about secret. It's secret SEKRIT. What are you all up to? Talk to me. Tell me. I'm doing. So if you guys weren't here yesterday, we did all this. So we're doing a workbook. I know that sounds a little bit over the top, but basically what we're doing is we're inventing a book to make people play Warhammer better. It's a little bit more involved than that. It includes a universal language and a bunch of other stuff. But effectively what we're doing is we're helping people who have been in the hobby forever or are noobs, and we're making the best thing that we can make. That's what we're doing while I'm talking shit at you on the internet. Chilling at work, DJ Batman, rude, making 15 sandwiches and freezing them. How come? Oh, just doing some sensible food management. Proud of you there, Robert Extreme. Game 4. Thanks, Soupster. Appreciate that. Who makes this? Game 4. Man, that's cool. That's really cool. I'm just going to... Oh, wait, I need all this. Give me that up. Okay, yeah. Awesome. The secret project does involve blowing a tiny horn. Woo! This is how I'll announce. Woo! The announcement. Tough years, getting some Metal Curse Company at work, moving shit around all the world. Wow, that's cool. Watching you at work, thinking what to take to Blood and Glory. What are you thinking about taking to Blood and Glory? That's my question. I think Knights and the like would be a secret project phase 2. It is. It's just already involved in the fact that it's the guy's getting excited, LLV. Yeah, because he's a smart fella and like, you know, he's gone on to stage 7 instead of just like tackling. Oh, stage 1's basically done. FYI, you should be excited. And if you talk to him, there's some stuff. Anyway, I announce everything that way. Game 4 is made by Uncle Atom of Tabletop Minions. Okay, he's a dude, right? He does something about. He makes stuff. That's rude, isn't it? Let's go. Let's research this guy. What do you think of this guy? Honest opinions in the chat. Do you think that there's a thing that we should do where we review other YouTubers? I know that sounds like way OTT and probably a bit fucking rude. Oh man, he's got loads of people who review him. That's cool. He's got 100,000 followers on YouTube. Oh, is he like CNN? Is he like, is this great? But you don't actually get any information. You just ask lots of questions. Does that make sense? Like, you don't actually get any, like, well thought through facts. You just get a guy who asks lots of questions. It's like, oh yeah, is this a great game? Uncle Atom's graphics great. Council of Blood thoughts. Council of Blood is cool. I like Council of Blood. It should be good. Still working on Jakari Kill Team. Only 4 to go on the 20-man roster. Go on. I need to play Kill Team because everyone says it's great. Yeah, he makes YouTube videos as well. He is great. That would be funny. No, don't do that wrong. He is great. Okay, that was great. Helped me so much when I came back to the hobby. All right, awesome. I might put some YouTubers off reviewing them, lol. It might, but it would also be funny. Or Uncle Atom is sound, covers interesting topics and themes around gaming as a whole. All right, that's absolutely fine. That's solid. I'm not trying to be derisive. I'm just trying to like identify what his shtick is. Plans to customize your Kill Team minis. Safely transport your miniatures. That's a really cool and helpful thing. Yeah, he seems like a cool dude. Just reading the topics. Okay, awesome. I'm just reading the topics. I don't mean anything mean by it. Just reading what it says. I feel he has run out of ideas, somewhat, says Ixtab. Oh Jesus, can't wait for ours. No, he's really good. He gives really good and detailed answers. All right, First Night Sands, appreciate that, and I really appreciate the feedback. I really do. I'm not trying to be derisive in any way, shape, or form. I'm just interested in like in some of the subjects, right? Because some of them might be super fascinating. Like, what gaming surface is right for you is. I guess maybe that's a multi-layered answer, but isn't it? I suppose it depends what game you're playing, right? Yeah, that's cool. I've never watched any of these. I think I watched one about Shadespire, and I think that's maybe what's coloured the interpretation that you're hearing right now, which was just, you know, he's got some like he was just like, it's a game, and I was like, I've learned nothing, but there may be more stuff to learn, so I'm gonna go watch some. I still need to. This week, my plan was to watch the goddamn Angel Core coverage, and I still haven't done that. That's what I need to do later today. So, add him to your interview list. Okay. Oh, where is the interview list? Interview list. Tabletop Minions. Uncle Atom. Okay, that's fine. Question, what is the internal measurements of a large, really useful box? Great question, Nikos. Let's go find out right now. I can't, not while I'm streaming. I can do it another way. No problem. I haven't told you that yet, Nikos, have I? So everyone, Nikos needs to know that, and I need to tell him probably right now. Otherwise he's going to stab me. He won't stab me though, he'd just look at me disappointed because he's such an amazing dude. He'd be like, why haven't you done that thing I told you to do? awkward. Really awkward. Right. So it's a 50-litre clear box, the really useful boxes, and the internal measurements of a 50-litre clear internal measurements of a 50-litre really useful box are. This is becoming a bit like the Truman Show, right? You're just watching me do just regular everyday things. Internal. You ready, Nikos? The internal measurements are, the length is 710 millimeters, 440 millimeters in depth, and 230 millimeters in width. No, depth. No. I'm just going to type it out. If anyone needs me, I'll just be here doing this. Sorry about that. There you go, Nikos. Right. All games should be played on a 1-to-1 scale replica of the realm or planet it is based in, although the game may only take place in the second half section of the replica, so to see when you have the entire planet around you. Okay, alright, Poetry, that's fair. I recommend a recent one about gaming like pop music. It's an interesting perspective. Alright, OJ, I'll give that a promise. Flaming only the most popular tabletop miniatures content producers. I'm not flaming anyone. I'm just saying what I think. Yeah? And if I'm wrong, someone will go, you're wrong about this. I'll go, alright, cool. I'm on it. What are you saying, Toughy Ears? What's this? You've just linked to me. Dead things. Oh, nice. They look cool. What did you offer? Donaldinho, UK Bad Dads rankings got updated with UK events now. We're so close to bringing the structure to the top 10. Donaldinho, do you think, here's my question, do you not think with the fact that we basically now have all the stats from every major tournament across the globe, that a UK ranking system is as useful as a worldwide ranking system? Hashtag spoilers. I'll get on with my little fucking list that I've got to do today. No problem, Nico. Sorry about it. It took so long. Need 3 4. I offered. There we go. But they didn't take it. I'm not surprised. Right. So, what's the next on my workbook? So we've done what questions you ask yourself before you play faction. Yeah. Now you need to get help choosing your faction, but that's a different section. That actually doesn't go into the core workbook. That goes into the different gaming systems workbooks. Choosing 40k is very different from choosing for Age of Sigmar, in my opinion. Playing both games, being a buy gamer. That's who I am. I'm a buy gamer. I'm a buy gamer with a horn. that Uncle guy probably is more mature than me, and that's probably why he gets more viewers. But I like you lot the most, so I don't really give a shit. Right, so yeah, it is a bit off, isn't it? So once you've picked your faction, who is in the who? Let's go have a look at this rankings. Let's see who's doing well in them. Let's go look on the website that 1993 built. Yeah. So currently, So currently, number 1 in the UK is Jack Armstrong. Second is Dan Ford. Third is Chris Myhill. Fourth is Gary Percival. Fifth is Darren Watson. Sixth, Craig Navmar. Tony Morse, number 7. Benjamin Sava. Byron Ord, number 10. Dan Bradshaw, number 10. Number 9, Byron Ord. Number 10, Dan Bradshaw. 11, Terry Pike. 12, Andy Hughes. 13, Steve Curtis. 14, Robert Sedgman. 15, Will Barton. And 16, you're in there, Donald Taylor. 16! Smashing it in. Am I in here? Do I even play? I feel like I would be there. There I am. 51. But apparently I'm the top Seraphon player. Yes! I went to one tournament with Seraphon, and now I'm the best with that race. Jesus. They are bad rankings, in my opinion. I offer the full breakdown walk times at straight to yes. Is a ranking system only really properly useful at all events follow a similar structure? For example, Mario similar to what Frontline Gaming do with ITC for 40k. Pete, I got to massively agree with you. In loads of ways, and there's loads of conversations going off on that at the minute in the future. And I'm sure at some point, I imagine this will be the last time that the Bad Dice rankings will be relevant, in my opinion. Don't mean that in a negative way. Just mean it's old, and it's by someone who doesn't really be involved in the hobby anymore, right? Not on a day-to-day basis, and you need someone to be involved on a day-to-day basis, right? I would hope so. Or how about this? How about it's great, but what we can do is better. And what we should want is something better, right? That's a healthy and positive way. Hi, Tuggy. I choose what faction to collect based on how cool the models look. Perhaps this is why I don't win at events, lol. That's definitely part of your that's straight in there, straight in here, or wherever I've written down on a piece of paper. Yeah. What are your aims with the army? And your aims is to collect an army based on how cool it looks. So winning isn't part of your aim. So basically, Tugboat K, sorry. If you've collected and painted the army and taken it to tournament, and the way you define winning is choosing an army based on how cool the models look, you've already won your aim. Like, that's why the workbook's going to be so important, because at the top of it, it will be, what is my aim with this army? And your army is there. And so you'll go to the tournament, and then you'll look, it will say at the end of the workbook, did you achieve your aim with this army? And it will be, take a cool looking army to a tournament, tick, you've achieved your aim. You've won. You've won what you've set out to. Like, we've all set our own goalposts, right? So, yeah. Yeah, agreed, I love it. But not now, right? Everyone's good at one point. Maybe. But and then some people aren't. Are you creeping right now, old Tom? Tom, are you creeping? Me too, I like it. Do you want comments on... yes. I so want comments. I want comments from you. So, by the way, the person responsible... the person responsible for... Oh, bloody hell. For doing the workbook. Not the workbook. The secret project. Oof, I fucked up then. Secret project is called Tom, and he may or may not be in the chat right now, so big shout out. Brucey, what time are you doing the show today? Right now, Brucey. Right now, Brucey. Just mentioned your name. That's Chris Myhill. Who's ranked when? Don't know, somewhere. Right, okay, back to what we're talking about. Because I don't really know how this works right now. So we've got the pre-army picking section of the book. Army section. And then you've got picking your army, but that's different. Picking your army for AOS or 40k, that's different. Picking army for AOS and 40k plus 40k. But that's different. That goes into its own little box because you would pick them differently, in my opinion. I don't know if it's at Tom. I don't know if he's lurking. You can write in the chat. Old Tom, you're allowed to. Boom, in the mood for hobby chat while I paint. Legend, no problem, Chris. Get in here. So you've got the pre-army section, picking your army for AOS or 40k, and then you've got into list building. Right, our favourite bit. Yeah, list building. So list building happens before. That's right. I'm glad Chris is jumping in. I'm glad people like Donal are here and a bunch of other people. They can help me with this. We're into list building in the workbook. Okay? This is very important, right? Hi, Bruce Hammer. How you doing? Tell us your secrets, Tom. Come on, Tom. Tell us your secrets. What are your secrets, Tom? Maybe he won't. Maybe he's going to keep creeping like a little creeper. So, How do people go about building their lists? Question. And obviously that's going to change for 40k and it's going to change for Age of Sigmar. You either go on Scroll Builder or you go on to Battlescribe, and you never do either of those two things differently. Is it relevant to know if you're buying it all in one shot or piecemeal? I think it's a great question. I'm going to, at a minute, imagine buying it all in one shot, and then I can come back to that later, I think. It's very complicated. I pick forces based on the fun factors such as orcs and destruction. Did I get the list that you sent last night? Can I read it out, Bruce Hammer? Is that okay? Do you mind? We can all talk about it. Does anyone want to hear about a top tier list potentially come in? Do you build a list first, or do you decide what you want your army to do? That's great. List building. Well, that's it. So what the aims of the... Surely it's what are the aims of the list, right? Diagnosis. Because I do the latter. Yeah. Well, I always choose units for what I want them to do. I go, I want this to do this. And then I go find the unit that fits what I want it to achieve. I pick a big model and go from there, lol. Then use Scroll Builder. All right, does anyone want to hear a list? Hold on. What do I want the army to do? Do I want the army to do? Want the army to do is important. And I think, just while it's in my head, it's also what are the USP or strong unique factors of the army. You know, for instance, re-rollable 5+ saves, or run and charge, or as was fly keyword, or good shooting, right? One of the first things I would decide to do is if I want one more start collecting boxes, already 40k OOS. That's good X-Tab. I mean, they are good value, but sometimes yes. What are the USP or strong unique factors of your army? I would say. And then the sub question is, are you utilizing them? Utilizing them. No, it's not that right. Utilizing them. Is that fair? Like, you know, it would be like taking a corn force, for example, and just taking loads of skull cannons. Realistically, it's a combat force, and it's got so many bonuses to combat. Like, what are you... and it's also whether or not the rules writers have given you the options to play the army in the way that you want to play. Like, if all you've got is reroll ones to hit in combat, you probably, you know, and that might be a bit of scoreology as well, because maybe that looks like it's good synergy, but realistically you'll never get that unit. I thinking of Troop Masters for Harlequins. You never really get them in at the same time as a unit of Harlequins. And he gives them reroll wounds in close combat, which is what you really, really want. But it's really hard to manage and create. Like, it's quite hard. And it's much easier to just sit back 24 inches and just shoot everything with your haywire cannons on your jet bikes. You know, so like, there's a kind of like a false equivalence in the scornology. That's what it's called, like a false synergy inside of that codex. So it's probably true for all codexes that there's something like that. So it's, what are the USP or strong unique factors of your army, and are you utilizing them, or can you? Right? In the list. Okay. Yeah, list building is great to have tips on. Same thing, pick something cool, build from there. Yeah, one of the first things I would... exactly, this also doesn't qualify more narrative players. No diagnosis, this is not meant to. Everything in mind will be geared towards competitive narrative gamers, because I don't think that there's a disambiguation as long as you define your aims at the start. Right, here's a cool... especially since flying word change, yeah. Talk about, did you guys chat about the new Corn Dragon last night? I was out. Yeah, man. If you go back and watch it, I think that was particularly funny. Jonathan and Nathan were in a great mood. They're just fucking cool dudes. Like, just such nice guys. And they were just like, you know, they both were like, yes, cool, take it. But, you know, you probably won't win tournaments, but maybe, but probably not. It's pretty cool, though. Yeah, go back and watch it. It was real fun. Yeah, good chat. Right, so the list. Here we go. This is sent by Mr. Chris Myhill himself. So, Allegiance Slanesh. Woohoo! The Lord of Slaanesh and Demonic Mount, which I think has got command ability to pile and attack twice. Lord of Chaos, and then the Exalted Great Endeamer of Slaanesh. And battle line, it's 2 units of Hellstriders of Slaanesh. I have this army. This is exciting. 2 times 20 Chaos Marauders of Slaanesh. 10 Chaos Knights with Ensorcel Weapons. Ensorcel Weapons. And then Chronomantic Cogs. And then the Chaos War Mammoth. The Chaos War Mammoth with the Mark of Slaanesh. 1,860 points with 2 extra command points straight away. The points left over for the battalion, for the battalion to make a battalion. Oh, so the points left over. But then there's some battalion points to make as well. -1 to hit bubble. And then the Chaos War Mammoth going in. The Chaos War Mammoth in piling and attacking twice. Seems like a pretty good unit, right? That's pretty terrifying. No one wants that. No, making it. See, I knew that having the Mammoth but giving it the mark and giving it a mark would be good, because obviously you can stick it in corn, you can make it run and charge. I was so thinking of doing a rundown of just a unit no one else can, like almost no one else owns, and just being a dick about it. But I thought it would be so useless, just like talking about my own model. Maybe I'll do a show on it on Monday, just to self-aggrandize. Season 2 of the Honest Wargamer, self-aggrandizement. Is the hero of the Mammoth? I don't think so. Oh, so the Mammoth can't pile and attack twice. All right. What size base should I put a Vampire Lord on foot? I think it's on a 40 mil Tuffy, if I'm honest. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, OJ, I can't read what you said. You seem to have just had a small fit on the Twitch chat. You keep writing rubbish that I will never read out. I'm just going to go find out what the Chaos Lord does of Slaanesh. Slaanesh. Does anyone else laugh about how many different ways people say Slaanesh? Slaanesh, Slaanesh, and the Americans, how do they say? They say Zinch in a really weird way as well. Zench. Hey, have you got a Zench army? No, I don't have one of those. I don't have a Zench army. Right, the Exalted Great Demon of Slaanesh does. You can use command ability, pick a friendly Slaanesh demon unit holding within 18 inches, and it's fought in combat phase. If it's within 3 inches of the enemy, it can pile and attack again. Got Cacophonic Choir, so it's not that's going to be super useful. Lord on the Mount. If Lord on the Slaanesh within a mortal Slaanesh unit within 12 inches to receive the boon of Hellish Swiftness, your next combat phase unit can be selected to pile and attack twice. So yeah, the command ability on the Lord of Slaanesh can be used on the War Mammoth, so it can pile and attack twice. That's pretty cool. That's, in fact, very cool. Chaos Lord. That's very, very good. And the command ability on the Chaos Lord of Slaanesh, if Chaos Lord of Slaanesh units roll 6 or more to hit with the model in that unit, the model can immediately make 1 extra attack using the same. So it gets exploding 6s on a unit as well. So you can have 6s to hit are going to generate extra hits, and you can pile and attack twice. So you can do both those command abilities on the War Mammoth at the same time, right? And just be like, so he gets 10 attacks base. He's got 5 attacks that if they hit, they do D3 mortal wounds. But if you're doing 6s, then you're going to generate another hit. So potentially, you're probably going to do, wow. Okay. Yeah. And then he's got 10 attacks. That's crazy. That is crazy. Zench, what's wrong? Do you want to play my Zench army? They're so good right now. The Demons of Zench. They're one of my favourite armies. There was an interview on the Realm of Chaos where Brian Astle talks about the origins of the Chaos God names. Oh, Ixtab, have you got the link to that? Because that'd be cool. I also finished 4th in a small tournament organised this weekend. Well done, Dionysus. I was trying to list for the Big Dutch GT. I'm pretty pleased with it. Deadline for the list is Saturday. I'm working really for change anything. What's in your list, Dionysus? That's my question. Which tome is this in? I've literally just bought a Slave Starters Army for SNES. It's not in a tome. No, Storm Dan. There is no tome for SNES. Just use the app. Just use the app. So that's the Chaos Lord, who is formerly Sigvald. So a special character. So Chaos Lord SNES and the Chaos Lord of Demonic Mount. So it's on the Snake Lady. But Pilot Attack Twice is a million they had a long time. At one point there was a build where you would get Archeon to Pilot and Attack Twice, because you could do that. That was pretty good. Thanks very much, Xtab. I can check that out later. Nice. Oh, that picture is just sweet. That is cool. Oh, the original Chaos Lord on Demonic. The Seeker of Slash is gross. I love the old models. I look at the old models, and I mean this in the nicest way if any of you are old Hammer bros, because I got into it later on in life. But I look at the old models and I think, how were you thinking that was okay? But it's a game of imagination, right? I look at the new stuff and I'm sure the future kids will be like, what were you playing with those toys, old man? But yeah, they look cool. Dr. Vulcan, you're painting up a War Mammoth. Man, you can do so many things with a War Mammoth. You can have it run and charge if it's in Khorne or in Nurgle, for some reason. Generate extra attacks for it. You can do blessings and prayers. You can do so many things. Reroll to hit if you have a Chaos War Shrine nearby. You can really buff Chaos War Mammoth. What's crazy though is it's not unique. You can take like 3 Chaos War Mammoths and just like, you can use them as nuclear missiles, like just like send them forward. Mammoth. Next one. Mammoth. Just fire them forward. A lot of chemically enhanced peeps in Games Workshop in the 80s, I believe. That would not surprise me. Are you, Xtab, are we basically saying that Games Workshop, during its foundation, they were all high? Is that the aspersion that the Twitch chat is making right now? And if so, what drugs were they on? That's my question. That's what I want to know. When the old Metal Bloodthirster came out, people shut their pants over how amazing and huge it was. Really? Really? That's amazing. I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean it's just so like interesting that, you know, how the times moved on. Although I remember watching the banana phone in The Matrix when Neo just went and that thing slid down and I was like, holy fuck, we're living in the future, gentlemen. So, same difference, right? I am at Blood and Glory. I'm playing Horus Heresy. That's right. I'm going to keep doing this. Just going to keep holding a template in front of someone going, what does this do? What do I do with this? The Flying Turtle. No, what's the Flying Turtle? What do you mean? Oh, okay, the new Flying Turtle. Oh, you mean they're on LSD now? Where do you buy your Chaos War Mammoths? I've had mine's just bought from Games Workshop when they were still making them. I bought most of the Monsters of Chaos. There was a book called Monsters of Chaos, the Monsters Arcanum, in fact. And I bought that, fell in love with the book. It's one of my favourite books ever. And I bought basically everything that was in that range. I had Praeton, Fire Elemental, Elemental of Beasts, the whole kit and caboodle, and Merowyn, which, if anyone has seen Cabin in the Woods, the movie by Joss Whedon, he's talking about the mere man, like it always reminds me of that, the Merowyn. They're on all of the drugs, says Harvey. Okay. I convert the War Mammoth of Harad models, not perfect, however they can work well on the Games Workshop models. That's fair. Plastic used to be shitty medium that no one wanted because the sculpts were bad. Oh, I never knew that. Okay, cheers. I'm off to earn money for plastic crack. Good luck, toughy years. Have a great day. What is the rant today? Jonathan Atland, the rant. Do you want to hear a cool army list, Mr. Jonathan Atland, sent in by Chris Myhill? I know that it's not an immediate response, but I'm guessing the answer is yeah. Right, okay. So the list is, Sorry, I was just got straight there. The list is the Chaos Lord on Demonic Mount, Chaos Lord of Slanesh, Lord of Chaos, which is Sigvald, which gives you exploding hits on 6s in combat. Exalted Greater Demon of Slanesh, 440 points. And then 2 units of Hellstriders of Slanesh, 2 units of Chaos Marauders, 10 Chaos Knights, and then the Chaos Mammoth and Chronomantic Cogs. And in turn 1, you can make the... oh no, is it written badly? Can you make him pile in twice? Don't let it be true. Don't let it be true. I don't want an Uber. It's the wrong bloody app. No. Don't tell me you can do it twice. Never tell me you can do it twice. So you can... If Lord of Slanesh, the one uses ability, select a mortal Slanesh unit within 12 inches to receive the boon of Slanesh Swiftness. In your next combat phase, that unit can be selected to fire an attack twice instead of only once. Okay, so yeah, because it just says twice, it doesn't say attack again. So you can have the Chaos War Mammoth basically attack twice, and any 6s to hit generate extra hits. Boom Snake has piled in 2 times ability. Yeah, that's Boom Snake. That's right. Right, let's have a redo of your list, Diagnosis. Bit 40k in the house. My list was Necron Battalion with CCP, Combat, Flying Cryptek, 30 Tesla Mortal, Deceiver, 2 times 6 crowns and 6 strikes. The other detachment with Lord of Reroll 1s and the Doomsday Arts. It's all Saltec to be a bit more accurate for when you played in never fought a later. Oh no. One against Knights, Imperial Guard. Oh, you won against Knights! So statistically, Diagnosis, according to the stats over on warhammer40k.com, no, 40kstats.com, no Necron player at a tournament has ever beaten the Knights player. So that's your challenge, FYI. One against Knights, Imperial Guard, and against Maximum Chiseler, which was played badly to be fair, but got stamped against Yunari. What a surprise. Yunari are just so good. Yes, Yunari are straight broken. I don't think there is much you can do. I said as much yesterday on Chapter Tactics. So yeah, I got to admit that Diagnosis, if you can beat a Knights list with the Necron list, then you're actually doing better than every other Necron player in the world. That's not bad, right? Personally. John, what do you think about piling and attacking twice Chaos Mammoths? How are you going to deal with that? How are you going to deal with it? I'm going to shoot it with all of my thunderers. That's what I'm going to do, Rob. This is my voice now. Oh, you fucking dick. Shoot with my thunderous, nailed it. Violent 0 times. God, you're cool. Right. Still won't get me to win that GT in 3 weeks. Yeah, I heard that episode this morning. It felt good. Well, Diagnosis, that's what you got to do. If you beat the Knight lists at the tournament, you're doing better than the other Necron players. Isn't that the key? All right. Necrons haven't also gone 4-0 at a tournament ever. So that's your other mission. Go 4-0 at a tournament because no one's done that. So you've got to go 4-0 at a tournament and you've got to try and beat Knight's list. So, Dr. Vulcan, question. How can you deal with these 40-man blobs of skeletons and the Gash armies as non-beastful raids of destruction? So you're playing as destruction, Dr. Vulcan, because I find no ways around it overall. So I was talking about this yesterday, and I know some people disagree, but I think that Bone Splitters are back. And I think Cunning Rook is back. Yeah? Loving the hate, Rob. I think it's good. I think and let me talk about that, I'll come back to it. I think Cunning Rook's back. You can take a bunch of Arrow Boys, and you can just blitz Jonathan, I think they're left. I think they didn't either. I think maybe we just stopped talking about them. But yeah, you just burn them with arrows out the sky. Just be like, you've got none left now. There we go. Because the skeletons have to come and fight you. They don't fly. You can block them off. Yeah, I don't know if Fire Slayers maybe are back, but Cunning Rook's still there. It's still very viable. The thing you got to remember about Cunning Rook though is people should be shooting to deal with the hags. for the Daughters of Cain, and if they're taking the shooting to deal with the hags, they will be able to deal with your big boss, who helps your kind of rook unit. So, kind of like swing factors realistically. But you know, Dr. Falcon, Grots outnumber Skellies, win objectives. That's also true. That's also true. And Grots can also outfight Skellies. That also works as well, which I think is good. There's nothing, is there anything in Destruction that does like damage to all the models in the unit? I don't think there is. If anyone, Donaldinho would know. One more question for you, Rob. Can models be placed in the circular tree footprint area, or do models have to place around these? It really depends on how you discuss. Like, there isn't a set rule. For me, I think this is how I play. I talk to my opponent, I say, the trees, everything around the hole is impassable or immovable. So the hole itself, imagine like a circular cylinder that goes straight up, and then everything around that is movable, so the branches and stuff don't count. But then sometimes, like for instance, the heat's just gone at the weekend, I had my mammoth, and I said, if you have a man in the middle between the 3 trees, and my mammoth base, because it's round, can't actually contact and make it within an inch, do you want to say that that isn't, or is possible to do? And then I let my opponents choose. I didn't mind what the outcome was, I just wanted to know before I played. Does that make sense? So, and like Jonathan's saying, so rules are written, you can place them all anywhere. So the best thing to do is just have a conversation with your opponent, and just say, how do you want to play this? What do you think's right? Yeah, and I wouldn't ever try to use it negatively or try to use it for advantage. I wouldn't say, well, actually, I'll get a wildwood, I'll put a guy in the middle because he's safe, because I don't think that's the way to do it. Rob, Grots lose the grind versus Skellies, but usually it's too late in the scenarios. I see what you mean. So you run onto the objectives turn 1, and then you just you don't outgrind them, but you just hold on till turn 3. That priority roll for turn 3 has got to be a bit risky sometimes, right? That is the healthy way to do it. Yeah. Just have an honest conversation with your opponent. Just say, what do you want to do? We're going to do this. We're going to smash it out. Like, cool. That's what I always do. Like, again, that's what's going to go in the workbook. A bunch of questions to ask your opponent before you start playing. So neither of you get confused ever. So you either ask a bunch of questions or you just make a bunch of statements. I'm going to roll a dice if it rolls anywhere but the table. So I'm going to roll it. I'm going to re-roll it. You know. Yeah. So Brucey, you're right. Like, you survived till turn 4. Nice. Like Chris is saying in the chat, and I think like everyone needs to say, this is why I want to do the workbook again. It will just be like a little sheet that you'll have. And you'll just start talking to your opponent, and you'll be like, hello, hello. It's like, if I roll a dice anyway, but the scene, I'm going to re-roll it. Are you okay with that? That's fine. All scenery is not impassable. How do you feel about that? Yeah, climb up and down. Cool. No dramas. You just go through your list of questions, and then there you go. And then you and your opponent don't need to worry because you've both listed all of your things and agreed to it. You have a little checklist. Check, 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 check. Josh Hardman, I am playing doubles this weekend. Are you playing at the doubles this weekend? I'm playing with a lovely gentleman who's gone and given me a ticket to play Warhammer this weekend, which is sweet potatoes. No way. No way, Jose. That's amazing. The secret project is just taking a step up. Wow. Okay. Are you play? If I summon my 10 times dryads into the wood, it can be tricky to keep them wholly within the wood. Also 9 inches away. That's my concern. They don't have to be wholly within the wood, do they? Oh, wait. Do you want to keep them all within the wood for cover? So you're just gonna have to accept it, man. Like you can't put them in the hole. I would say don't put them in the hole personally. But your choice. Just play with it you play. And also, good rule, if you're ever not sure about a rule and there isn't like a crystal clear answer in the community, always play it the worst way for you. So then whichever way it finally gets decided, then you're in the safest place, in my opinion. Josh Harmon, you're playing Caradron and Sacrament. No problem, brother. I'm playing Chaos Dwarves and Chaos Dwarves. Right, what are you going to do about that? I might wear this hat for the whole week. I wouldn't wear this hat this weekend. It'd be too fucking hot. There you go, Donaldinho and Dr. Vulcan. You got some help from the Grot terrorist himself. Imagine events that all use the same prerequisites, scenery, dice roll, etc. I know, imagine it, LLV. Imagine if there was a book that like set the standard and then there was a standard created after. Nailed it. Lots of questions beforehand, all day. Could you do a card called the Honest Wargamer's Gentleman Nobleman's Agreement? That's the list pre-filled, and I can just say to your opponent, do you agree to play by this? That's basically the plan. I think it's going to be idea. That would be a good book. It would be a good book. That's what I'm writing. So, I'm talking to you guys. I'm writing a book. We're on it. Don't worry. I do have 2 great armies, Jonathan Etland. Just because you are a dirty sky pirate. No one likes sky pirates. Yeah? What you... Just going to have to look at it. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. You guys are so much fun to talk to. Where am I at? Where am I at? There's some crazy shit just happened with the secret project, FYI. I can't tell you, but it's pretty great. Okay, so list building. We're on list building for any war game. So list building. What do I want the army to do? Yeah. And there is a lot of people watching. Thanks for watching. It's very nice here. Thanks for joining me. By the way, this is day 2 of 5. I'll be live again tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Where I'll be talking to John, who does all of our drawings. And on Thursday, I am talking to a gorgeous gentleman called Mr. Laurie Huggett Wild. That's right. I messaged him yesterday saying, could I interview you? Because I've asked to interview him. And then we'll be talking all things Sylvaneth, one of my favourite armies. So I'm going to nerd out talking to one of the star players in the Sylvaneth team. And then... on Friday, 40k fans will be excited. Toby's back. Toby's going to be back to be joining me here at the Honest Wargamer HQ. Maybe we'll do some hobby. Maybe we'll hang out. Maybe we'll talk about how much we love custodians. Or how excited we are about orcs coming out, right? Yes, I did, LLV. Wait, did you send it to me just? The 5-0 list? Does anyone want to hear a cool Age of Sigmar list again? Okay. So this is by David Kerr over in Australia. So it's Stormcast Eternals from the realm of Garan, and it's the Anvils of Helmhammer. And then it's going to be Lord Arcanum and Griff Charger, and he's got Deathly Aura, the Ezraite Halo, and then his mount trait has got Windrunner. Then a Knight Incanter with Thundershot, another Knight Incanter with Stormcaller, and the Lord Ordinator with the artifact that's Soul Thief. Then 5 Sequitors, another 5 Sequitors, another 5 Sequitors, 10 Evocators, 3 times 3 Fast Riders, 3 times the Fast Riders. That's cool. Toby, aka the Matt Smith 40k, will be back. He will. Hype, hype, hype. And then it's 3 Celestar Ballisters and Chronomantic Cogs and 2 command points. So basically, he can drop down a ton of shooting, and then he doesn't have the Comet. Oh, I thought he had the Comet in this list. Oh, that's sad. But yeah, no Comet, which is a shame, and I would expect him to take the Comet and then drop that down and then just kick face. That'd be really fun. But you know. Okay. So, yeah, cool list, right? What do you guys think of that? You guys excited by that? Do you think that's good or not good? Let's see what you guys think. I think you can put Comet in, but it seems to attack the DAK and the gas problem right now. I thought you did, but you put in over Fast Riders. Easy swap. Interest list, the Comet is fun, however. The Comet is fun. It does, Zyko, you're right, it does need more orcs. I want it to have more orcs. I think more orcs is going to be the future, personally. But we currently interesting. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted looking. The turn, the balance to drop, you can do an insane amount of damage firing twice. You can. That's why they're so good. Loads of shooting available at the minute from Stormcast, but no one's taking it, and I don't know why. But it's cool commentary to like have that conversation. Like they're not, and there may be a reason. Maybe they are going to be in the future, but they're not right now, and I don't know why they're not right now. But we'll see. We'll see. Right, so you guys got me 5 more minutes. So any questions, turn of phrase, thoughts or feelings? I then have to go and apologise to a man about breaking his window. Really tough day last week. And then I'll be back later, obviously, at 7 o'clock with my normal streaming schedule, 7 this evening. So for you guys, that'll be in like 3 or 4 hours. We're doing some hobby, gentlemen. I'll be doing some hobby. So I'll actually be doing no talking, which is exciting. Oh man, don't worry. It's been a pleasure talking to you guys. You guys again have helped out a bunch. I've been able to do some interesting shit, which I've appreciated. I'm going to send this. Right, okay. Psycho, I just bought Grey Knights in at 40k. Did I make a huge mistake? They were cheap. No, it depends on chapter approved. So 2 months, a month left until chapter approved. Grey Knights may get a drastic points reduction, and therefore they're going to be loads better. I think shooting it from, I agree with you, Ollie. I think shooting for Stormcast may potentially be a really strong army. Argue with me there, because I think that that's going to blow people's minds, personally. Tom's our 40k expert, realistically. Tom, how much do you think Grey Knights would have to drop in points for them to be super, super good? When can we get an army over an episode for Soul Wars box for Solid Starting Force? Yes, so sorry. Potentially on Monday. Like the news and everything that's happened recently. That's why we've started to move the stats to its own show on a Monday, so that we can do the rundowns again Monday evening. Because the stats are super worthwhile talking about. Really need like loads of attention and love, and they need a really great show to talk about them every week, because it's just really great news. The work being done to produce them is excellent. So I want the show that is to be really good. And I'd like Monday to go back to what we've always focused on realistically, which is doing the rundowns and just doing the chats and the banter about army lists and just kind of spitballing ideas, because that conversational creativity, I think, has developed some really good ideas for people listening. So I'd like to keep that as well. So we just added another string to our bow, which is just exciting. And I'm going to also be coming back from playing doubles all weekend in Warhammer, so I'll have a bunch more stuff percolating away in my brain this weekend. You need to make them a specialist version of Deathwatch. It was a great stream, man. See you later. Thanks very much. Good luck with the list. Good luck. Afternoon, Daisy Duke Dog. What I'll be in this evening. I don't know what I'm going to be in this evening. I can't decide right now. I don't know what you guys... I've got so much plastic in the house to build. And I've also got some... I suppose I could start painting some bulls for my Chaos Dwarves, or I could paint this bull. This would be quite cool. But I was going to air gun this, so I probably won't do that, because I don't know how to live stream an air gun without getting stuff all over the equipment right now. That'll be something I have to do. Talk about lizards and paint lizards. I could build some lizards, Robert Extreme. I could paint some... I could build some Seraphon if you wanted. So effectively, rather than making them able to take more models, you need to make those models do more for the points they're paying, says Tom. All right, cool. There you go. Hopefully that helps with your Deathwatch question. Hey guys, I'm blind. I want to plan my next kill team. Orcs can't find commandos in the web store. They say some of the things have been missing, but we'll see. So we'll see. I don't know what to tell you. Right, anyway, gentlemen, ladies, friends of the show, fans, everyone, thank you for joining us for the second of 5 days in a row. We've got guests all week now coming up, so this is last time it's just going to be us, although until later tonight when it's just going to be us. And then we're just going to be talking and build a Zenith Zangor Sorcerer on disc. No, I can build something that is going to approximate a Zenith Zangor Sorcerer on disc. yeah, you guys are wicked. And we'll see you guys soon. Yeah, so I'll see you later tonight if you want to come and hang out and talk. I'll be doing some hobby and just chilling. Then tomorrow, obviously, don't forget. And then, what the hell? Yeah, so we'll just hang out, right? Good? Right, you guys are wonderful. Thank you, as always. And I'll see you soon. Namaste. Also, don't forget, every army's a winning army. Stop being such a snowflake about it.